Hello, you're watching TelecomTV. I'm Martyn Warwick. We're at Mobile World Congress 2016 here in Barcelona in Spain. And I'm talking with three guests at the moment. Let me introduce them to you. To my right is Jack Bonifay of Transatel. Jack, welcome. Next to him on his right is Hassan Ahmed of Affirmed Networks. Hassan, we've met before. Good to see you again. And last but by no means least, at the end there is Shekhar Iyer from VMware. You're all welcome. Let's begin here. NFV as a technology bounded onto the world stage from almost nothing 2.5 years ago. As a revolutionary technology that's going to change the world, and indeed it is going to change the world. We've seen the proofs of concept, we've seen the trials and the case studies and the use studies, and now NFV is being introduced commercially in networks in various parts of the world. And Jacques, you are one such person. You are introducing NFE services right now. So tell us about Transatel and what the services are.
The company Transatel has been in the business for the last 15 years, and since 3 years ago we have started to deploy a worldwide data MVNO to provide embedded cellular connectivity to laptop and tablet. And we are deploying that on a worldwide scale. And we can do it because of the NFV capacity of the Affirmed Network GGSN. Affirmed Network being the supplier that we have selected among many others because of the capacity to master this technology.
Thank you. Very succinct and to the point. Hassan, we've met before. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Let me ask you about Affirmed. Jacques just said they use you obviously for your capabilities and expertise. What are those capabilities and expertise? What do you bring to the party that others can't?
Well, first of all, thank you, Jacques. I think Jacques actually mentioned one of the capabilities. I think Affirmed provides unprecedented scalability, and scale is really one of the key problems that operators deal with today. And that actually has a dramatic impact on operators' economics, and that's really a major reason for why Affirmed becomes the supplier of choice in 35 networks today around the world. The other very important thing about the Affirmed technology that I think differentiates it from many, many others is the ease with which we can create services, because service agility is one of the real key drivers in how we build networks going forward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Last but by no means least, Shekhar, where does VMware fit into this equation?
So VMware is an infrastructure software provider. So if you think about NFV, in the NFV architecture, in this combination of us, Affirmed and Transatel, VMware ends up being sort of the foundation layer of infrastructure at the bottom. And so that essentially supports the ability for all of the software-defined agile services that can get delivered on top of the VMware infrastructure.
Thank you. So I understand this. We are talking here an ecosystem, are we not? I know it's the buzzword of the moment, but you don't often get an ecosystem all in one place at one time, but this is one. So how do you all work together? How did this come about, Jack? When you determined that you were going to introduce NFV services, you started where?
We had a vision about embedded connectivity for laptop and tablet, and that's a vision that we had for many years. So we looked at how to deploy it from a technology standpoint. So we had many discussions with many technology providers, especially for the GGSN aspect. Then in our selection process, we came along with Affirmed Network, and at this time we feel that we got the right product to invest in these worldwide solutions. And maybe we should point out that this solution has been chosen by Microsoft because we are the connectivity partner of Microsoft, and Microsoft launched a very serious RFQ 1.5 years ago. And among 19 players, they selected Transatel as being their connectivity partner for Windows 10 to provide connectivity to laptop and tablet who have Windows 10.
And which part of the world did you decide to go into first?
The service today is operational in 40 countries, but we have agreement with 70 operators in the world. So we're going to cover by the end of the year all Europe, most of Asia, and all North America. And we're now going to extend in the rest of the continents in Africa, Middle East, and Oceania.
Thank you. Now then, gentlemen, as far as NFV is concerned, network functions virtualization, it's about innovation, it's about speed of services, new services and so on, monetization as well. Is the business model there, as far as you're concerned, for NFV to begin with, to monetize these services, do you think? And how do you help your clients to do that?
So one of the really important points about why networks are transforming in the first place is that mobile has become really the prevalent method of communication for all of us. So in a mobile-first world, mobile networks had to evolve from being simple access networks to really being intelligent service delivery networks. So it's really a very different world than what we've been accustomed to, and enabling not just agile service development, but also enabling these services to be profitable for the operator becomes very important. So we're helping the operator innovate quickly. And just to give you an example, mobile networks used to be all about simple consumer services. Today, you're seeing the emergence of IoT services. This morning we announced Vodafone as customers. They're doing automotive applications. This is creating internet hotspots, infotainment in the car. It's not about consumers as the main service, it's really about the automotive segment and delivering those capabilities to those customers. That's an example.
Thank you. Shaker, the same question applies to you. In the work that VMware does, what do you bring specially? We understand you're the platform beneath it all. How agile, how flexible is that platform? Does it fit in with what likes of Jacques and other clients want, and how quickly can you adapt?
Absolutely, yeah. So historically, the telecom providers have had very different architectures for their IT side of the house and the network side of the house. And what is happening with NFV is that there is now a good amount of uniformity in the same level of agility. IT was always used to deploying applications very quickly on top of their infrastructure, whereas the network side, it took forever to get a new service deployed. Now with a similar infrastructure on both sides, which has this notion of software definition, it allows for uniformity in manageability and security policies between essentially the entire architecture, and it gives the same level of speed of service delivery across the entire infrastructure. And that's what VMware helps our customers do, working with partners like Affirmed.
Thank you. Jacques, have you found, as you've rolled services out around the world, have you found that NFV is different and has a different effect in different parts, in different geographies, in different parts of the world? Are there regional differences?
No, not really. I mean, we are launching a global service, so we are deploying worldwide. The NFV technology makes it much easier for us and much more cost effective, but we don't find differences from country to country because the idea is to provide a global unified service.
Absolutely, and NFV is presented to the world as an overarching technology across the lot. But we hear mention recently about the notion of carrier grade NFV. But given that NFV is the overarching technology and NFV is NFV, what is the difference between NFV and carrier grade NFV? Does it exist, or is it just marketing talk?
I think it's marketing. NFV is a technology that's deployed primarily in carrier networks. Carrier networks have to be carrier grade from the get-go. To draw any sort of distinction like that is inappropriate in my view. I think anybody who's offering NFV services that aren't carrier grade really shouldn't be in the business.
Of course, and you've mentioned quality of service, so they talk about what, 5 nines or 6 nines or 9 nines or 11 nines or whatever it is for quality of service assurance, guaranteed uptime, etc. What do you find, Jacques, in terms of what you're providing now as an NFV service? Is it robust? Does it stay up? Do you have any particular problems, or are there pitfalls that you didn't expect to fall into when you set off?
No, I don't think very specific issues. I mean, if you look at what is the overall quality of service issue that you might have when provided embedded connectivity for laptop and tablet. Sure. Maybe more on the network side, depending on the coverage, you might have issues. But I think the issue around coverage is maybe it may come sometime. But when the NFV architecture is not the weak point into the value chain, I would say.
A last question to you all then, gentlemen. I don't want to embarrass you or put you on the spot by saying this is what's going to happen next. But given where we are, and given that hopefully we'll all be back next year to Mobile World Congress again, in 12 months' time, what do you think the position of NFV will be? How widely will it be deployed? What will it be used for, etc.? Shaker, let's start with you.
Sure. So my assessment is that in about a 2 to 5 year time frame, all of the carriers will be deploying NFV in some production environment or the other. We're already seeing a significant amount of that started. As a result, I believe that the infrastructure spend from the carriers is going to turn itself to an NFV spend. And many of us, like ourselves and Hassan and his company Affirmed, are going to be the beneficiaries of being providers in order to give this in an efficient and cost-effective way to carriers like Transatel.
Thank you. Hassan.
Yeah, I agree with Shekhar. I think in that time horizon, we'll see virtually every network having elements of NFV in its deployment. I think Transatel was actually a innovator and a leader in having adopted the technology early and is taking advantage of it. We saw actually a fairly big shift happen in the marketplace about a year ago, where operators went from studying it to deploying it, and we've seen that happen in our business. We're deployed in about 35 networks now, and we see another 45 or so trials. So the momentum is definitely picking up, and we're well on our way to achieving Shekhar's time horizon.
Jack, the last word is with you. You're doing it. You're at the sharp end. What's it like, and what do you make of it, and where's it going next?
I think Transatel now is proven that it's the leader for embedded connectivity for laptop and tablet through our relationship with OEMs and through our relationship with Microsoft. Today you have less than 5% of a laptop and less than 10% of a tablet who have an active SIM card. I think we are on the way that in a couple of years you're going to have more than 50% of a tablet and laptop which actually we have a connectivity with their cellular SIM cards using NFV technology. And maybe more than 50%, far more than 50%. So I think it will make a big change, and that will generate huge volumes.
It will be a huge market, and if you add to that the potential of the Internet of Things, quite seriously, the world really is your oyster. Gentlemen, we live in very interesting times. Thank you very, very much indeed. And this is Martyn Warwick at Mobile World Congress 2016 in Barcelona, signing off.